Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to some more Planescape Torment. And let us resume life. Alright, so we left off, we just made contact with Ravel via one of the sensing stones. We need to leave this area completely now.
Ah, the sweet smell of sensates and governors.
Yes. Actually, no. We are supposed to be here. Never mind. I thought it was the lower ward for some reason. No, it's the clerk's ward that we need to be in. Let me double check what we got here. Carry. Okay. Nose around a bit, see who we can find. Name names.
I don't think so.
Wow. What a horrific little person you are. If you're constantly commenting on my looks, we don't care, and we're not sticking around close enough to find out. Sensate. Um... Nope. Diligence? Okay.
I know about that, right?
Oh.
Yeah, let's sample a little turtle, eh?
It appears we have stayed in this part of the town too long. Creatures have come to seek us out. Let's see here. Clerk's Ward. Torment Artist. Clerk's Ward Citizen. Citizen. Citizens.
Bulwark, also known as Wanker City.
I'm not seeing who I'm looking for. I don't know. Do I need to go, like, into the hall again and look around? Looking for someone who's obviously a named character. Keep. Actually, let me double check what the name is. The name we are looking for. Oh, shite. And I close the tab. Reopen, close tab. Name we are looking for. And learn how to read from Finam, the linguist in the clerk's ward. I don't think we saw Finam, and I was kind of thinking I might recognize the name if I ever saw it, and I definitely don't think we've ever saw Finam yet.
Beautiful clouds, let me have at him.
Maybe there is someone inside? Let's have a look.
All right. All right.
Okay, I thought I saw something in the corner there. Nope, never mind.
All right.
I'm pretty much convinced they're not in here. Doesn't sound like a familiar name. And we'll double check some of the rooms here, but I'm pretty sure they're all generics. Double check in here really quick. I don't see anyone in here. Yeah, let's go over here then. Alex and
I'm
Storm.
gone.
Let's have a look around. I do recall I did not pay much attention to any names in here. And I didn't notice for sure if any of them had names. Yeah, no zero so far. So let's say it's... Sorry, sir. I believe there's another side quest we can do with her. Nope. need to talk to somebody else, I think. Nope, not who I'm looking for. There's like a hatred about the size of both your fists balled together. Seems inexplicably familiar to you. This texture is cold and smooth, but whether it's metal or stone, you cannot tell. A certain, almost intangible tension runs over the object as if it were ready to spring into the air at any moment. Yeah, it's not telling me anything.
All right.
Not there either. Nope.
All right.
Current speakers include Death's Advocate, who speaks of death and how it follows it. Gisius the Crooked, who speaks of the Blood War, and the Three-Planed Aligned, who speaks of the power of alignment and belief, assuming they are currently here and well. We could direct you to one of their lectures at any time. Yeah. Let's go over there and talk to them. Yeah. I thought there'd be like a quick little thing summarizing what they're up to, and it would just take me automatically there, but whatever. Meh. Yeah, still not finding who I am looking for. Let's head back outside and see if enough time has passed.
Done. All right.
I assume we have to ask her every time we want to stay. Rested for 8 hours.
I'm gone.
So it's about noon.
All right.
Apothecary. I'm beginning to think that I might be mixing up places. Let's still check. I'm not finding this person here, that's for darn sure.
All right. All right.
Hey, Chief, what do you say we get rid of Ignis, all right? I mean, he's burning his candle at both ends, if you know what I mean.
Just come out the other end, gotcha. Throp, Corp, and Zerb.
Done.
Come on, we got a special on slaves. Use them for whatever you will. They're right over here. Step right up.
Done.
I don't think this guy's gonna help me any. We can talk to him though, I suppose. Safe game. See a thin, stooped man hunched over a desk, scribbling on a piece of paper. His hair is thinning and drab, drawn back in a ponytail. Thin spectacles adorn his hooked nose. His age could be anywhere from early 20s to his late 40s. He doesn't look up as he speaks to you. What do you want? Make it quick. Few questions. They have to do with work. What do you print? Books, pamphlets, handbills, words, letters, whatever. He amends. But I don't do racy prints. I won't fulfill any perversions you might want, nor do I care to ask. Oh, what is this? What is this place? Actually, no. Farewell. Yeah, I got nothing.
All right.
So far, batting a 0.
How much for the child? That one's too lean. Step right up, boys and girls, young and old. Buy a piece of human flesh right here.
Done.
Oh, this is a vault of speaking of sorts. Excellent. Vault of the Ninth World. Welcome to the Vault of the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigillian? What is this place? The Vault of the Ninth World is pleased to serve as a warehouse for the lower ward and all sentience of sigil. Our motto is, when the world just isn't big enough, we provide storage space for those that have little to spare. Our prices are competitive, our services exemplary, and our courtesy to customers is known across the plains. What are you? I am the voice of the Vault of the Ninth World. I am here to serve you, the customer. Instruct me in what it is you desire. Why is this called the Vault of the Ninth World? Frankly, I have no idea. I think the owners thought that it would be a clever name for or something. Is this place really as big as a world? No, it's just a marketing exaggeration. There is a lot of space here, but not that much. I'd like to claim something. And what is it that you're looking for exactly? Looking for a large bag of coins. I think I have some questions though. Of course, what can I help? Can I do for you? Never mind. Thanks. Yeah, I got nothing. Farewell. Let we at the Vault of the Ninth World value your business. Please return. I'm not gonna be rude to them. They're a place of just storage. I don't have anything to get from there, at least not currently.
All right.
What am I in? What am I in? No, that one's too lean.
I'm not having luck here either. Let's head back.
Done.
No, I sleep for 8 hours, and it really does feel like the passage of time is really wonky when we travel between spots.
Yeah, let's tap with a little soda, right?
This is not the person we are looking for. What's in here? Oh, boot shiner. Nope.
I'm gone. I'm gone.
Interesting. Advocate?
Ignis will one day kill you all.
This is getting itchy. Hi there. This man is dressed in soft blue robes covered with intricate design. Despite their opulence, however, the robes look wrinkled and worn. You place the man's age somewhere between middle-aged and early 60s. The worry lines make an exact determination difficult. As you enter, the man turns slowly towards you. As he does, you are suddenly struck by the terrible sense of you know this man or did at one time. Greetings. The man squints as if trying to place you. Yes? Is there something I can help you with? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am. Yeah, Ennis, he studies you and frowns. Were you looking for me? Oh no, what is this place? I am advocate of the. I'm an advocate. There are many offices. Leon's voice takes a irritated edge. Do you seek counsel? If not, perhaps you should best test your curiosity elsewhere. An advocate? What's that?
Updated my journal.
Mort breaks in with a whisper. He's saying he's a lawyer, a counselor, one of those Burks who rattle their bone boxes at the courts. Ian's frown deepens. An advocate provides counsel, helps others navigate the labyrinths of Sigil's legal system, arranges legalities for citizens to ensure that their property is divided as they choose upon death, defends those in Sigil's courts who have been wrongfully accused. He pauses. Did you need help in any of these areas? Not this day, farewell. Yeah, I'm not sure that we need such help, at least not at the moment.
All right.
It was worth poking our heads in and having a look, but yeah. Oh. These are on bars to serve as decoration rather than security measures.
I know about that, right?
Nope. Nope. What's this? Oh! I looked right past the name of this place like 5 times. The short, scholarly man, a tight, nervous frown on his face, looks up and down. Greetings, I am Finium. I must beg your pardon, sir, but I care little for guests, invited or otherwise, so unless you have business with me, I would ask that you leave. I have questions. I would have you know that I am a scholar and a linguist, sir. While I shall happily entertain any questions regarding the field of study, language, and the like, I can be of little help to you in other matters. Never mind then, farewell. Actually,
Done.
really quick. Oh, let's try to use. The heavy dodecahedron about the size of both your fists altogether. The tension seems to be springing through the air at the moment. Examine the dodecahedron closely. Upon closer examination, you realize each of the sides of the dodecahedron is a plate that can be twisted clockwise or counterclockwise. It appears to be a puzzle box or a combination lock, as each of the pentagonal plates has 5 possible positions. The dodecahedron has no less than 240,140,654,140,625 settings. It would take every second of the next 77 odd years to hit all the combinations, but then you might just get lucky and stumble into a solution in minutes. Fiddle for a bit. Yeah, your methodology twists cold gray facets of the dodecahedron. A strange sensation forms over the base of your skull. Your hands seem to move of their own accord, turning the object and spinning its facets with mechanical precision. You've done this before. You knew the combination once, and you also become aware that there's a certain danger within the object, whether it's from the simple traps or something less mundane, though you cannot recall. Keep working. In moments you have what might be the first and the 4 sides locked into their proper places. As you begin to twist the 5th side of the dodecahedron, you recall a cunning blade trap that would snap out to latch at a miller's hands, slashing their wrists and severing fingers. You avoid the trap with the proper number of rotations, creating certain that you've made progress in unveiling the object's secret. Keep working. We're not a dumb cookie. After avoiding the dodecahedron's springing blades, you slowly puzzle out the next series of facet positions. As you start to turn the 9th side of the dodecahedron, you suddenly remember a second trap. Jets of toxic gas that would form a billowing cloud of lethal, corrosive vapor around a curious meddler. You circumvent the trap with the correct amount of twists, positive that you've nearly unlocked the dodecahedron. Keep going, we're nearly there. Woo! You circumvent the dodecahedron's gas trap and begin your work on the final facet position. Just as you're locking the 12th pentagon into place, sorceress runes hidden within the dodecahedron unleash a tiny storm of magical lightning arcs across the crackling blue light, runs up your arms, leaving smoking trails of black ruined flesh in their wake. After allowing your muscles to cease their spasms and picking yourself back up, you recall how to avoid the trap. After making a final adjustment to the 12th facet, the dodecahedron clicks and begins to open in your hands. The dodecahedron splits once, twice, and eventually unfolds itself impossibly into a perfectly rectangular tablet the size of a large book. Etched into its surface are a series of bizarre symbols. It looks to be a code or a language. You feel it should be familiar to you, but it's not. Further examination of the tablet reveals that by twisting the pentagonal facets that are now upon the underside of the tablet, different pages may be displayed across the tablet's face. You finally realize that the dodecahedron is a tome or journal of some sort. I'll learn to read this language. I might as well just put it away.
Updated my journal.
I think the dodecahedron was meant to be our journal. I had some questions. Unfold the dodecahedron into a page with writing on it and ask if he can translate it. He takes the unfolded dodecahedron into his hands and examines it closely. This language is a long-dead one, known to virtually no one. I believe my father, a linguist like myself, knew this language, and may well have been the only man in Sigil at the time that could understand it. I recognize it from the notes, but I cannot translate it. Do you have the notes still? He shakes his head. They'll be of no use to you if you are looking to translate anything, and the few actual books he had pertaining to that language disappeared about on the time of his murder, I believe. Your father was murdered? Strangled, he was. He had left to tutor someone. He taught various languages to supplement his research income, and was discovered dead in the side chamber of the Civic Fest Hall. The killer was never found. This was perhaps 50 years ago now? I was but a child. He knew the language, though, and could teach it. Surely he did and could were he alive today. My father was said to be a great teacher. Uh, Finham sighs sadly. I've still his skill with language, but not his patience for others, sadly. Is he interred at the mortuary?
Updated my journal.
Why, no, his ashes are kept here. He points to the bronze urn sitting atop the cabinet of the bouquet of purple flowers. Why? A wide smile across his lips. A necromancer, are you? Speak with the dead? He suddenly frowns. I have no wish to speak of these things any longer. You'll have to excuse me, sir. Farewell. Farewell. I can talk to the dead, Dad. Probably. There's an urn atop of the small cabinet full of ashes and charred bits of bone. Etched into the base of the urn is the words Finn Andley, beloved husband, father, and scholar to 100 languages. Use stories bones tell on the remains. The ashes seem to stir faintly as if moved by your breath. A faraway voice whispers up from within the urn. Why? Why have I been summoned back to these ashes, cold and gray as the heart of a hag? To answer questions, spirit. Ask then, so that I might return to my most quiet thoughts. Describe to him the writing from the folding dodecahedron. Ask if he knows the language. Yes, I know the language. I was a linguist and a scholar, you see. I was murdered by a student of mine. Murdered so that I could not teach another the language that I taught him. The tongue of the Uyo. I was one of the rarest in the multiverse. I knew none who spoke it, save myself and that one damnable, murderous student. Can you help me learn this dead language? I could teach you this language, yes. It would please me to do so, in fact, if only to spite that bloody-handed student of long ago. First, tell me, what languages do you speak? Learn what you can from the spirit. As the spirit speaks to you of the lost language of the Uyo, there is a throbbing sensation in your temples as a memory begins to surface. Memories of this language. You recall letters, words, phrases until, like a spider wind blowing away the blanket of poisonous smog over the great foundry, the language is once more revealed to you in its entirety.
Updated my journal.
There is another memory, though, bubbling to the surface, a darker one. Its presence troubles you, somehow it fills you with unease and unexpected pangs of guilt. Allow the memory.
Updated my journal.
Alas, you recall Finn himself. You remember his gentle voice, his kind manner, his schooling you in the ancient language. You also remember your scared, gnarled hand wrapped around his frail throat, crushing his larynx, thus ensuring that the secret contents of your journal, hidden and thrice trapped in a dodecadal puzzle box, and penned in the obscure language of Yule, would forever be safe from prying eyes. Finn, I must tell you, it was me who murdered you.
Updated my journal.
The spirit is silent for a moment, the ashes rustling softly within the urn. When it speaks once more, its voice is full of sorrow. But why? And why would you come to me once more? Did you forget what you had been taught? No, well, yes, it's difficult to explain, but it must have been a former self of mine that murdered you. Each time I die, I reawaken as if from a long sleep, but having forgotten everything, who I was or what I had done. I think I understand. I sense your regret, and would forgive you. My peace be with you, pupil of old, and may you prove kinder in this life than the one which you and saw the end of mine. Thanks, Finn. Farewell. Oh. Ooh, I can maybe help this guy out. Yo. I had some questions. Never mind. Never mind. Walking on out.
I'm gone.
And thanks to your dad. Read it! Unfold the Hedron and read it.
Updated my journal.
A tablet turns out to be a journal of sorts, one kept by the former prior incarnation of yourself. It would seem that not an altogether sane one either. There are only a handful of completely coherent sections. Browse through it. What do you want to read about? Whispering Shadows. The whisperers are not the shadows moving. They are speaking, plotting, talking to each other. I can understand some of what they say. Read something else. Female ghost. The book tells me things, whispers things. It tells me to avoid the ghost girl, avoid her. I don't know her and she torments me. Read something else. Hiding something within your own body. And so I stalled it, hoping that I'd catch it in my bowels. I can make someone remove it when I need to. I've kind of experienced that already, actually. Paranoid ranting. I have learned my life is not my own. I will not allow you to have it, my life. You will not have to pull my life from my broken body if you want it. It's you who will die. I cannot have it, neither will you. You are responsible for this treason of flesh. You will not live to live my life. Accursed tattoos. The accursed tattoos will not leave my skin. I have tried to burn them off my skin. Failed. I try and cloak myself, but it always feels like people are reading my flesh, reading me like a book. Whenever they look at me, I want to tear their eyes out, pluck them from their sockets and crush them beneath my heel. Very angry man. I think we've met him before in the Sense Stones. Read about dreams and Ravel. I used the goblet of Simir to force a waking dream. I saw a hag. She tempted me, threatened me with shadows. I've never seen her, and she came when I had dreamt. Thou must not dream again. I must always be aware. I destroyed the goblet. She says she's someone of power and that she will have me, will find me. Get away, hag. Stay far from me. Leave me in peace. I want nothing to do with it or you. Continue reading this portion of the journal. Her voice reeked of evil talons like spiders. They burn into my gray matter. And I need her out of my mind. Out, hag! She's a myth, a fairy tale who's alone. Challenge the Lady of Pain. How can one fight someone with that's a myth? I don't have the weapons I need. Weapons that will kill her should she find me. I need a strategy so she cannot defeat me when she comes for me. I must devise and think. I shall beat her. Something else. Something else. I can lean back over towards the microphone. About the danger of names. Fear names. Names have power and identity. Names can be used as weapons by others. They are a hook, and when they can be used to trick you, to find you, hunt you across the plains, remain nameless, and you shall be safe. About the killing in the fest hall. I went to the fest hall looking for a path of my false self in its halls. So glaring was it that those I did not know, the false ones, welcomed me into their confidence, treating me as a friend, showed me my room, attended to my needs. I had to restrain myself from launching out against them. That would have been premature. First, I needed to protect my identity. I found one who knew the exclusive language of Yuo, learned it as I could, then killed him. Then I went to the Sensorum and prepared to end the matter soon. Soon. Yeah, I've faced against you. You're not as clever as you think you are. Crazy man. Read about the murder of the one who tried to help you. There's nothing he can do. Memories are gone, he says. Never to return, he says, lies and tells me tells me this is what he told me. Lies. He says my mind is weakening from every death. Lies! He sat there, betraying my confidence at every turn. He says that after 3 more deaths, 3 more lives, I will gain the benefit of keeping my memories, but that I myself will die when I die. Die! How can one be immortal and still die? He could not answer, so he was of no use. I butchered him, so that no one else can, and so no other incarnation will ever benefit from his uselessness. Very shouty man. Read a cryptic answer from the unknown source. So the ghastly head said, "You have been divided. You are one of many men. One in many men. You bear many names. Each has left their scars on your flesh. Lost one, immortal one, incarnation's end. Man of 1,000 deaths, one doomed to life. Restless one of many. The one whom life holds prisoner. The bringer of shadows, the wounded one, misery bringer, Yemeth. You are slivered glass that has cracked and the pieces scattered across history. Only one piece is important. Regain that and your life will be yours again. There will be a price. This price will buy you a chance. Without the chance, you are doomed. You have lost that which is never meant to be separated from man. Your mortality has been stripped from you, lost. It exists, but you must find it before your mind is lost to you as well. Lots of shouting. I have to keep pulling back and it's shouting! Read something about a legacy. A legacy. The note read, "Forget not to collect your legacy." And small code scratched beside it. A trap, no doubt, set by another one of my false selves. I'll see it destroyed, I will. I think we're good. What was that last bit? That was a code of some kind. I'd like seeing the note read, "Forget not to collect your legacy." A small code etched beside it, 51AA. Alright. To under central, back to the lower ward. Oh no. Never visited the apothecary. Whoa. The shadows are still too well aware of my existence here.
Stop working on this thing.
I'm gone.
Okay. You see a wall-eyed fellow with skin that seems to writhe and ripple across his entire body. He's smacking his cracked lips at the blotched tongue as you watch his right eye moves independently of the left, focusing on you. A second later, the left one flicks to look your way, then reverts to its original position. His right eye blinks. A strange gurgling comes from his throat. Hi. The man gives a lopsided grin and points at himself with his right thumb. "Pestle, I am called the alchemist." He points to himself again, this time with his left index finger. "The name's Killen. Ha! Need she something?" "I'm Pestle, and I be Killen." "Are you alright?" "I am." His throat convulses for a moment, then relaxes, and a large green glowing pustule suddenly bursts from inside of his neck. "Something you needing, sir?" His throat clenches again, and a wave of quivering flesh swallows the blistered green pustule back beneath the skin of his throat. He coughs violently for a moment, then seems to relax. Whew. May I ask what happened to you? Left eye rolls upward in exasperation. The right eye looks askance. Too much to drink. Too much of what, though? Potions. I drank too many potions. Fecklehog. His... Actually, I think it's what he's supposed to be saying. His mouth slides open beneath his chin. His left nostril forms another one. Mouth slides down beneath his chin. His left nostril forms another one. The most I ever drank, that's for certain. Polymorphin they were, brewing hot in limbo. Anything I can do to help? The man's eyes turn inward to look at each other, then back at you. Don't know. He shudders for a moment below. His chin moves up, to envelope one of his nostrils formed. This sort of thing happens quite often. We can't seem to help but sample the stock. If you could find a way to help, the two of us would be grateful, sir. I had another question. His mouth curls into a downward frown. He gurgles his head. Work in the stockroom all day I do. He shudders and suddenly a third eye pops open on the bridge of his nose. The left one shifts sideways as the new eye takes its place. I speak only if we store, sir. That said, the skin of his face seems to eat the new eye and the left one returns to its old location. Okay, bye.
I'm gone.
Okay. So if I figured out that part, so I'm supposed to go to... Oh, discover that the legacy waiting for you at the Advocate's house in Clerk's Ward. Oh, gotcha. Advocate, which we just met. What's in here?
I know about that, Roy.
Yeah.
Done.
Actually, sir, we have something. Looks as if he's been not sleeping. Greetings, Annis. You again. Annis frowns slightly and stares at you. What did you have in want this time? I have some questions for you. Excuse me for asking, but are you alright? Must excuse me, as of late I have been have been best by troubles. I am afraid that it has been a rather trying time these past few years. Anything I could help with? No, there's little that can be done, he nods at you. Nevertheless, I appreciate your offer, thank you. Very well, perhaps there's something else you can help me with. Very well, what can I help you with? Have we met before? Man studies you a moment, frowning in thought. The wrinkles on his face become more pronounced as he does so, and then you are again struck by the toll that age that seems to have placed upon him. No, yet you seem familiar. Yet. He continues to study your features, then shakes his head. I will concede that there is something familiar about you, sir. I apologize for any insult my failing memory may be giving you at the moment. I have been preoccupied for some time now. Have we met before? I think so. I can't really remember myself. Frustrating for both of us, it would seem. Never mind, perhaps you can help me with something else. legacies? They are contracts that are deliverable at the death of the client. They provide specifics on how a person's possessions are to be divided upon the event of their demise. I've also heard of them called wills. Actually, I come into the legacy come to collect the legacy of a young woman. I believe you have a legacy for me. Indeed, very well. Do you remember the legacy in question? 51AA, I believe. He looks at you in surprise at the name of the legacy. That's extremely old. Are you certain? He looks shocked at the shocked look comes upon his face. I hope that wasn't one of the ones that was burned. How old is it? Well, he ponders for a moment. Several decades at least. You said it might have been burned? What do you mean? He looks saddened. Yes, this office was the target of the senseless act of vandalism. A year ago, we had a break-in here at the office. The vandals stole the sole desire seemed to be to burn my legal documentation. Much was lost. A shame, really. Sigil can be quite wearing on the person's faith. He seems to lose an inch as he mentions sigil. The vandal only damaged certain documents, irreplaceable. Can you check and see if the legacy still exists? He nods quickly. Oh yes, of course. Will take a moment. Very well. I will wait. He returns nodding. Yes, fortunately it was unharmed by the fire. All the articles are safe. If I collect on it, I am to be the beneficiary. Of course, sign here and here on the dotted line. There and there, alright. There we are, that should be the last of the paperwork. Here are all the items that were in the vault. One looks like a foundry receipt, though quite an old one, to be sure. Did the deceased have something commissioned at the foundry? I don't really know, perhaps. I'm beginning to think just about anything is possible. Where's this foundry?
Updated my journal.
It's located on the lower ward. It is past the great gate. Look for a number of guardsmen guards at the gate, and you should be in the right place. Very well. Perhaps there's something else you can help me with. Thank you for the directions. I'll go there now. And we gained 700 coppers. Sweet. I think it's like a gold, 10 copper to a silver, and then another 10 silver to a gold. So, 70 silver. So at least 7 gold.
I'm gone.
Gold goes a lot longer distance in this game, but then again, we haven't been nearly as dependent on it as some other games. To be honest. My own D&D game requires a bit of gold with what all they're doing lately. Don't want to throw them too little, don't want to throw them too much. Keep them working. We need to go to the lower ward.
Done.
Wow, yeah, apparently time flies by as we travel. Holy smokes. Oh. Speaking of things that travel.
Mike's not working on this thing. Mike's not working on this thing.
We must find an end to these things. On this, good sir. Ah, yes. You see a burly, bored-looking guard. State your business, please. I'm here to pick up an order. Yes, sir. May we receive your receipt? Yes. Thank you, sir. The clerk you seek holds office in the southern wall of the foundry. Thank you for your patronage. He opens the gate for you. Awesome. We're in. And look at those shiny outfits. All full of spikes. Now let's see, I assume it's somewhere over here. Yeah, there it is.
Done.
Quite the busy foundry. Taking the whole place in. Wow, this is a hell of a foundry. Their receipt to the Great Foundry. Where's the clerk's office? Just south of the main foundry, sir. You'll find the office desk in it. It's the clerk's office. Thanks, farewell. Not sure if it's supposed to be in here or if it's somewhere else.
All right. Done.
Clerk's office, just south of the main foundry, sir. You'll find house desk in it. It's the clerk's office. Thanks for well. Oh. Oh, is it here? Here we go. This might be it. Or get your big floaty head in here. Hello, sir. You see a wizened old man, trembling hands and a cunning face. He looks you over carefully and speaks. Hello. Have I seen ye before? Ye seem familiar to me somehow. I suppose it's possible. I never forget a face. He'll come to me, to better with it. Do you remember me? Do you remember where? It's important to me. Not so fast, lad. Takes a while for the old mind to warm up to a task like this. I've lived a long time, and I've seen a lot more faces in that time. And it ain't so easy to remember. Memory's a fleeting thing, and that's something you can bank on. Before replying, you mutter... tell me about it, lad. And then, can you tell me who you are? Me? I'm Madeline. Guardsman, fighter extraordinaire, he sighs. At least I used to be. Now I'm a clerk in the foundry, breathing in the city air and hastening my dying day long. That's a pity. I had other questions. Was there something you wanted? So you mentioned you've seen me before. Do you remember where? Can you tell me who you are? It's a pity I had other questions. I'm here to pick up an item. Do you have a receipt? You need the receipt, I can give it to you. Or I can't give you anything. Yes, I do. The man takes the receipt from you and scrutinizes it carefully. This thing's over 100 years old. How'd you come by it? Apparently I left it for myself, but I got busy. That's a good one, lad. I'll just bet you're busy. He laughs to himself and passes over our armload. Here you go. Treat this work with care, you hear? That I will. I have some other questions, though. I certainly will. Farewell.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
Woo! We have become stronger. Thank you all very much, and we'll be leaving your business. Alright. Dak has leveled up 3 more hit points and learned more spell memorization. Alright. Let's check out the spell book, my dude. What you got? Nothing new in spell 1. Spell 2, though. Let's see here. Power 1, Ice Knife, Swarm Curse. I'm gonna stick the bugs on people. Oh, that was a double click. Hello, remove curse. Nice. There we go. Alright then. Quick save. Check our inventory and let's see if we can get this baby rolling. shimmering jewel catches the light and reflects it separately colors. It looks extremely valuable. You know what? I just realized we could have had more identifiers by now. Let's head to a place where we can rest freely.
Done. All right.
Everybody into the crowded tomb. And rest. Our main spell man here is going to identify Planescape gem. Spell. The Kaleidoscopic Eye. +1 to all saving throws, +1 to saves versus spells, 5% resistance to magic. Used only by good creatures. This shimmering jewel is actually the corpse of a radiant spirit from the upper plane of Elysium. When these creatures pass away, they leave their shimmering husks behind. These husks are often mistaken for jewels or semi-precious stones. Their essence is still that of harmony and goodness, and they can only be employed by a creature whose heart is filled with good intentions. The kaleidoscopic eye can neither be wielded in the hand or placed in the empty eye socket, depending upon can either be in the eye or socket or be wielded by hand, depending upon whether its owner wishes to use it for defense or offense. When held, the user may summon its power to harness an ambient light whilst twist it and then turn it against its enemies. When placed in the owner's eye socket, the eye grafts itself to the wearer's skull and helps shield its new owner. It absorbs a portion of the energies from incoming attacks and provides proof against all manner of magical attacks. When the kaleidoscopic eye's offensive power is exhausted, it cracks and turns to dust. He's not good. How about you? No? I doubt it. Yep. He can't use it, which is a little bit weird. I was gonna say, I assume he won't be able to. No one he can, apparently. Alright. Next up on the learning block. Curious Ironwork. This is a shimmering piece of filigree millwork that you can pick up in the Great Foundry. It looked almost gauzy. Sharp edges protrude from it. You have no idea what to do with it right now, but it must be important if you left it behind for yourself. Identify spell. This is a shimmering piece of filigreed metalwork that picked up a Great Foundry. It looks all you can do to activate it is find the proper key. Unfolding portal. Boom. And strange chunk of rock. Identify! Stone Gullet of Lefal the Cross. The Lefal the Gross. +1 permanent save versus poison. Permanent 15% resistance to acid. The grueling stone gullet of Lefal the Gross is not as well known as most artifacts tend to be. No wars have been waged over it, no betrayals, no epic journeys into the underworld, only a few moralizing sorcerers, a fat man and his stomach. As the legend goes, Lefal the Gross was said to have been a promising practitioner of the art, sorcerer's apprentice to one of the last seers of Esanon. Despite his skill at the art, however, his gluttony was the subject of much ridicule among his peers. Wow, this thing goes on for a while. During the last great massing of Esanon, Lefal was invited to dine at the center table, but unbeknownst to him, his peers had filled his wine goblet with an elixir of turning flesh to stone to teach the round student a lesson. Lefal consumed such great amounts of food and drink during the mass, however, that it diluted the poison's effects. Complaining of a stomach ache hours after the feast, the local healers discovered that Lefal's stomach had turned into stone, yet was still capable of digesting food. Lefal lived the rest of his days happily eating, though his gullet was a few pounds heavier than before. When he finally died, his stomach was removed as an oddity, and since then it has wandered the plains in search of new stomachs. To use the artifact, one must consume it. It has consistency of stale bread, so doing will turn the eater's stomach into a stone gullet. Devouring the stone gullet of Lefal will grant the user the blessing of stone and rock and slight resistance to stomach acid. Well, that's a thing. Yeah, he's gonna need more than anybody. He's just like constantly a target, it seems. Alright. So we finally should have everything ready, so let's give this a try. Actually, no, I wanted to try one more thing. I wanted to try going back inside.
All right.
This door has been sealed.
Aye? Might as well.
I'm gone.
See a pale-faced dustman standing at the guard over the front gate. He is staring off across the city rooftops in a distant expression. As you approach, he turns to face you. Yes? I had some questions. Nods and waits. I would like to enter the mortuary. What's your purpose within the mortuary? I'm here to pay my respects to Dianara, the woman in the Northwest Memorial Hall. He nods. Very well, follow me. Alright. seem to have gotten turned around these halls. Are there any guides around who can direct visitors?
All right.
Just sneaks up on ya.
All right.
It's been quite some time.
My love, you have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned?
I had some questions. What was that vision you spoke of before?
This is what my eyes see, my love. Unfettered by the shackles of time. You shall meet enemies 3, but none more dangerous than yourself in your full glory. They are shades of evil, of good, and of neutrality, given life and twisted by the laws of the planes. You shall come to a prison built of regrets and sorrow, where the shadows themselves have gone mad. There you will be asked to make a terrible sacrifice, my love. For the matter to be laid to rest, you must destroy that which keeps you alive and be immortal no longer. I know that you must die while you still can. The circle must come to a close, my love. You were not meant for this life. You must find that which was taken from you and travel beyond, into the lands of the dead.
Had some other questions. Can you tell me who I am? She's not giving me anything new.
I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
I'm gone.
You know, it wouldn't kill you to say a few words to me, Fiendling. Or hug me. Or kiss me.
Mort, if she decides to split you in two, it's only your fault.
Done.
I was let in to check on something, sir. I don't know why the dialogue options aren't allowing me to talk to people properly like a normal human being. There's nothing new there. Alright. So supposedly we should have all the bits we need. So maybe next time we shall be going through the doorway, but I do believe our hour is up for today. We had to take an hour just to try and figure out all the extra paperwork here without constantly checking the guide. Let me double check though. I will say the new guide has been most helpful. Oops. And I'm not even playing the proper game. God dang it. I forget to update
I
it
have
properly.
been here before. This time I will not leave.
Anyway, yeah, well over an hour. So, okay, saving it here, and we will come back next time. Holy cow. I thought we just kept making quick saves, but apparently not. Not just the same quick save. Alright. Save in here. And we'll be back again tomorrow to enter the maze and find out what Ravel has to teach us then. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Check out the links below if you want to find the other channels and check out the other stuff I do. And consider also following to make sure you can keep up with the new stuff as it comes out. Thank you all again, and I will see you all later. Have a good night, stay safe, and see you then.